Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay, so husband and wife duo. You've trained all over the world to be yoga instructors. I know that you have a musical background, playing a lead in Disney's Lion King and Whoopi Goldberg's Sister Act, which is super cool. And you moved from France to Traverse City. So I have to just start with, how did you land here? I have a feeling a special someone may have brought you here, but I want to hear it from you guys. You know, how your journey all around the world and living in France took you to Traverse City, Michigan.
You want to tell or should I tell?
Sure, I can start.
Okay, you begin.
So Mathieu and I were actually living a mostly nomadic lifestyle before. So we had an apartment in Paris, but we were mostly throughout Asia and Europe and Bali, Sri Lanka, and some other places. And we were still traveling throughout my entire pregnancy. And I decided, okay, I want to give birth close to my mom and close to my family. So I arrived just a week before him because he still had to teach throughout Europe, and I was like 36 weeks pregnant. So I had to come home because planes wouldn't allow me to fly after that. And then I arrived. A week later, he arrived, and I gave birth that very night as soon as he landed.
She was waiting for you.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because they closed the border like 2 or 3 days after I arrived in America.
So this was 2020?
Yeah.
2020. So March of 2020, we weren't planning on staying here. We were planning on staying here for 3 months and then going back to Bali.
Okay.
So we couldn't leave after that, though. Everything was closed.
America closed their border to French people, and then France closed their border to American people. And at that time, we were not married either. So when we arrived and we were planning, okay, we have the baby, we're gonna travel after, nothing happened the way we imagined, you know?
That's life.
Yeah.
So you are making Traverse City home because, well, first I want to say congratulations on your new yoga studio, Change Perspective, TC.
Thank you.
And what I love is that it's the city's first donation-based yoga studio with the mission to make yoga affordable to all. I'm curious why this vision, like how this vision came to be and why that was so important to you.
Well, in Traverse City, we've noticed that it's quite expensive to take a yoga class. And right now, everyone's kind of taking a financial hit. So we had many people come to us and say, we love yoga, we love kids yoga, but we can't really afford to come. And it kind of broke our heart. Like, yoga is really a mental and physical health practice, and it doesn't feel right to put a price point on that is kind of elitist. So we wanted to make sure that everyone is welcome, everyone can work on their physical and mental health and really come together as a community to lift each other up. And it's been a dream of Mathieu's actually for a long time.
I used to have a yoga studio in Paris.
Okay.
So I was a co-owner in Paris of a studio called Lome Yoga. And it was not a donation studio, but at the beginning, my dream was to make it a donation studio.
Okay.
But, you know, Paris, the rents are not the same as Traverse City. And of course, like, you kind of like have to justify way more in France, whatever you do. In America, doing donation is way easier than in Europe or in France specifically. So I tried actually in Paris organizing things so it would be more accessible, but it was very, very challenging. Here is so easy. Like, we created that studio in 1 week.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. And I guess I'm curious, and you touched on it, when was the moment that you kind of took this passion for yoga and all, which we'll get into kind of all the benefits and all of that. When did you take this passion and realize and saw it turn into a purpose? It's a purpose-driven business, really. When did that passion turn into this bigger purpose to make it inclusive for all?
So,
For both of us, yoga pulled us out of really dark places. And we were in different situations and we were on different sides of the planet, but we both had the common experience of yoga saving us from just like physical and mental problems. So after you experience something like that so strongly, when it like pulls you out of the darkness, we both just felt the urge to continue to share.
yeah, for me, my story with the practice started with the musical theater. So when I was in musical theater, I stayed in musical theater for 10 years. When I was 21, I went to my first yoga class, and it was a Bikram yoga class. I was a very different person than I am today at that time. I was, even though I was playing in musical, I was very uncomfortable in my body. Like when I look at videos now, it's kind of funny. I look like a robot. Like the way I was just acting in my body was just so funny. And I had the first class I took was a Bikram yoga class, and I didn't like it. So Bikram is, is heated, strong. Look at yourself in the mirror. Extend your leg,
Yep.
lock your knee, lock your knee, lock your knee. So super, super intense, super young. And I thought, like, this thing is so freaking hard. I will never come back. It's too much.
Wow. Okay, I want to get into all that. We're going to take a quick break and come right back after the break. I love that you said, yoga is so much more than a physical exercise and experience. I'd love to hear more about that mind-body connection and hear about those experiences where yoga healed trauma.
Yeah, I mean, the breath is really the bridge between like your emotional body and your physical body. And for us, the breath is a super important part of our practice. You took our breathing class, and especially in that class, I mean, physical yoga, you'll also see this, but especially in breathing classes afterwards, there's just an emotional release for people. People will cry, people will begin to move energy through their body and release things that they maybe didn't even know they were storing or holding on to. And for us specifically as asana yogis, we love the physical practice of yoga. There's something about like stepping on the mat and just following your breath and moving your body. And when you're practicing, you have to notice every single little detail, every muscle, every bone, you have to have it aligned perfectly. And when you're doing that, it kind of takes you out of your thinking brain and more into like your feeling brain. So it gives you a break from like the constant thoughts.
Analyzing.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
And you see it as well, like people are going to the doctor for a physical problem, or to if they have something that they can't fix physically, they're thinking, oh, this is the brain. So they go to another doctor, the doctor for the brain. But there's no doctor for what's in between the brain and the body, and what's in between is the breath. And I mean, you know, in Latin, the breath is spiritus. So the spirit is in fact the breath.
Wow.
Somebody that's breathing is a spiritual being.
And a really good example is like when you have a panic attack, your breath speeds up and you can't control it. And also, like when you have a moment of relief, you sigh. So the breath is so intimately connected to how we feel, our emotional and physical body. So when we manipulate the breath, it has an effect on our physical and mental body as well.
Totally. I'm curious, what are some of the things, practices, and elements of yoga that you take off the mat just into life?
So much.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you are able to understand, you know, simply that when you breathe in, you are charging yourself with energy. When you breathe out, you are making yourself quiet, calm, relax. Then imagine at any point of life, whenever you feel stress, you can manipulate the way you feel.
Yeah.
Well, also like in yin yoga specifically, you're holding postures and you're feeling maybe uncomfortable, and you're using your breath to get through that discomfort. And actually by the end, you feel a sense of like great relief and ease. And I kind of relate it to like when I'm driving in the car, my daughter's in the back, she's screaming, and it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable. But the practice of yoga has kind of taught me how to stay calm and relax and easeful throughout the discomfort.
Yeah. Now, what do you do in life, just in general? I saw something on Instagram about just like when you're feeling uninspired, especially this time of year. It's, you know, the sun isn't coming out that often. What do you do when you're feeling uninspired?
I think that's different for both of us. I mean, for me, I cleanse my physical body. I like to take baths and showers, but then I have to move. I have to get that fire, that internal fire going. So I like breathing practices like Kapalbhati, which is like a very fiery breath. And I like to move in a very strong physical way. And that kind of just sparks me from the inside.
Cool. Same.
Yeah, I play music.
Yeah.
I like going back to the vibration. It's just like whenever, you know, I feel uninspired, that helps me right away.
Yeah.
I just grab an instrument and start, and you never know where you're gonna go, you know, but you just always end up somewhere.
Cool. I have to ask, was it hard to take this craft and then turn it into a business? I mean, you also offer on-demand classes online. So what have been some of the challenges from taking this art and craft and adding in kind of the business part of it? Has it been easy? Has it been challenging?
I mean, honestly, we're so inspired to share the practice of yoga. I think it's been pretty like seamless. It's happened so naturally, and especially for Mathieu, it's grown in a very natural, gradual way. I think the biggest challenge, maybe Mathieu can speak about, is when the pandemic hit in 2020, because before we were traveling and spreading yoga in person, and that changed.
Yeah, whenever like, when I arrived in America and they closed the border, I had lots of following in France. Also all over the world in English, but I was teaching trainings in French and in English. And the teacher trainings, you know, it's like, you need a month at least intensive to do a training, a basic training. And then when I teach the advanced training for teachers, it's way longer. So those kind of program I had to take online. And at the beginning, I just didn't know how to do that.
Oh my gosh.
So, you know, adapting, like anybody, I think at this point, adapting the Zoom, the thing, the screen, like teaching online, how are you gonna correct people? How are you gonna give feedbacks and stuff like that? But actually, it kind of went pretty well. Mm-hmm. And I really believe it's the practice that has helped me to adapt so fast. Because, you know, when you practice yoga, movement, breathing, and all of that, if you're very serious about the practice, you don't stay in your comfort zone. Right. You're always looking to like adapt, to find new things. What new trick can I learn? Yeah. You see, so it helps you. It's kind of training you for this kind of stuff to happen. Totally. But I still teach online training, and I do that every weekend, 4 a.m. until like 12, you know, or 4 in the afternoon if I teach 2 trainings for like 3 months in a row.
Oh my gosh.
To people in France.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. Another thing I saw on Instagram was a caption that said, "Remember community." So I want to hear what community means to you.
Yeah, I mean, that was a post I made. So definitely a community is I feel my motivation for teaching yoga. You see, before when I was in the musical, I wanted to reach people, to reach with my heart to their heart. I wanted to communicate something, but I could not identify what was my message. So like, being a singer, being an actor was just a way to connect people, connect with people, and connect people together in one room, in one space, with one element. But it was through a play. And what I love about the yoga practice and yoga classes and teacher trainings and all of that is that whenever we communicate, something is just you. You just present, you know, I just present myself and I'm like, okay, whatever, like, I'm just myself. I don't have to play a role. And that's awesome. So I feel when I do that everybody then allows themselves progressively throughout the training, for example, to drop their mask, to become like just more of their true self. And because this is happening with one group, we start to unite. We become stronger together. And that's, super to me, community.
Wow, that's a good answer. How do you define community? And
well, specifically the yoga community, when we all walk into that room and we're really working through things on our mat. You know, it's not just a fitness class. We're working through emotional trauma. We're working through just lots of things. So when we all come into that room and work on our own stuff, it makes our connection to each other so strong, and we kind of understand each other better.
Yeah.
Support. Support is...
Yeah.
We feel the support of others. And, it's nice. I really believe, like, it's so powerful, you know, this... It's so cliche, this message of yoga, unite, like kumbaya, you know, like, and we're all together, that's great. But like, we need that so much today.
Yeah.
Especially in this time.
What makes the Traverse City community so special?
We love the Traverse City community.
Yeah, but I would like to say, like, I think we're still figuring it out.
Yeah.
We're still figuring it out, because when we arrived here and we started to share, it was not easy. The doors were not open. So the feeling of community to me was not was not there.
We realized it was something we would have to build ourselves.
Exactly.
We had to make the space ourselves in order to build true community.
Yeah.
And now it's already happening, and now it's very powerful. Like,
Good.
I mean, you came to the studio, you felt like it's nice, like the atmosphere is so nice already,
Yeah.
but it's just the beginning.
Yeah, I feel it. There was energy and magic in that room, so
Yeah.
I'm glad it's continuing down that path where you are building the community you crave. What do you think are those elements and I guess ingredients to make that you really need to have the community where you feel at home and supported, and what are those special ingredients?
I feel diversity is very important. I want to see black people in the room. I want to see big people, fat people, skinny people, happy people, sad people, tattoos everywhere.
Yeah.
I want just the diversity, and then I will be able to say, okay, we succeed in our mission.
Well, I think it's so interesting how you know, yoga is now your world, and you said earlier that you hadn't, you know, everyone has to take that first class.
Yeah.
So there was a moment in your life when you had never gone to a yoga class, and you did it, and you started, and now here you are. Before we wrap, for those who want to attend like an online class or come to the new studio, where can we find you?
All information is on changeperspectiveyoga.com.
Okay, cool.
And they can reach out through email, text, phone, however they want.
Okay, super. We're gonna do a quick fire round, just like whatever comes to your mind. Hopefully easy questions. So what is your favorite restaurant in town?
Accent Bell.
Oh, okay. Look at you guys doing the same. Your favorite outdoor activity?
Swimming in the lake.
That sounds great. Yeah.
Oh, I could go for that now. What's a concept or business that you wish was here?
I think more eco-friendly yoga clothes that are
Ooh.
organic.
Nice.
A French bakery, but vegan bakery.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then the question we ask everyone is if you could have a drink with anyone. We were so lucky to have a drink with the two of you, but if you could have a drink with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
I would say probably my great-grandmother. I never met her, but she had so many mental health problems that kind of trickled down my family line. So it would be kind of good to go back and dig into that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. That's a strong question. I would say, for me, it would be Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh, some people call him, or Thich Nhat Hanh. Yeah, he's a Buddhist monk that died actually recently, and he wrote wonderful books about happiness. He's incredible.
Oh, that would be a great drink. Well, cheers to you. Congratulations on the Change Perspective, TC.
Thank you.
Thanks for getting a drink with us.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you so much.